Joel, the process MB.
What is going on YouTube? It's your boy Shelnock back with another YouTube video, and today we have a video on the new challenges that came out this weekend, which are the unlimited streaks, I did the other ones. I did the, where are they? Okay, the unlimited, which is which you get a diamond Vucevic, the limited, which you get the diamond Bobby Jones, triple threat online, which you get a diamond Steve Francis, and the triple threat offline, which is the amethyst Mike Conley, but we don't need to really go over that. So 2K released these challenges, and I think that these are some of the, we've been waiting for grindable cards for a little bit, because the last card we got was that Daryl Griffith diamond last season, I'm pretty sure last season or earlier this season, and that card was really good. And these ones this weekend were pretty solid. The Mike Conley's alright, he's triple threat offline, so that's not hard at all to do. But the big one this weekend was this diamond Steve Francis, who I think is one of the best guards in NBA2K22 Myteam. And to get him, you had to do a streak of 10 triple threat online games. Now, originally when this challenge came out, you had to play triple threat online and you could only play that mode, and you couldn't play any other mode. But what I found out from Shirogan, and if you don't know who Shirogan is, follow his channel. He does great content, and I found it on his Twitter, and I just wanted to get this out to everyone else because he heard it from other people. So I wanted to get a video out to help everyone else, just in case they didn't know about this. And this was kind of a hard challenge. To win 10 triple threat online games in a row, you have to be pretty good at the game. And and it gives you a lot of XP, which helps in the long run. So this was a really sweaty weekend with that. And the same goes for the limited, which was 5 games, which wasn't as hard. And it gave you a diamond Bobby Jones, which he's an amazing defensive player, but his offense with a 33 ball, he's a liability. And then the diamond Vucevic, who I don't need, so I probably won't go for him because I don't need the stress with all this. He's a solid big man. He could shoot the ball. He could do a lot of things really well. But the one thing that 2K did with these challenges that people found out, to get this card, you could play the game, and if you were gonna lose that game, you could quit out of it, and then you would be able to, you wouldn't, obviously you get a loss in triple threat all online, but for the challenge, it wouldn't reset the challenge. Now originally, if you played the game out and you lost, your whole record would get reset. Or if you switched game modes while you had a win streak, it would reset that as well. But 2K literally let that slide in their game, and it's one of the biggest glitches right now. And I think that you guys need to take advantage of this, because this Steve Francis is so good. And to me, when I look at players, obviously the John Wall that came out today, John Wall's amazing. But if you look at his price, though, that one's gonna shoot up. I'm filming this really late. He's definitely gonna be very pricey still. But if you look at Steve Francis, they're same weight, almost Steve Francis is an inch smaller. His defense, obviously Steve Francis' defense is a little more iffy because he doesn't have all the badges, but he has the badge slots to get really good badges. But if you look at the badges too, he has 2 less Hall of Fame badges, but they almost are exactly the same gold badge wise. And I mean, obviously John Wall has a couple extra badges, but it's not that big. The only thing that's a negative for Steve Francis is that he can't get limitless spot up. And that's probably the main badge that he just can't get that would put him over the top. But looking at their stats, Steve Francis has an 86 3 ball. He has a 96 driving though, which is insane. And just going over the stats, there's not really a big dip off. Even he has a better block than him. a better steal. Interior defense is bigger for Steve Francis, which is good. Like a +10 on interior defense is huge. He's better rebounding. John Wall's faster than him, but not by much. Steve Francis has like their stats are pretty much almost identical, and if they're not far off. And some Steve Francis has better stats than this John Wall. And I mean, probably tendency wise, I never really looked at it. Obviously, John Wall has the better of the tendencies. But we're looking at a card that John Wall was going for upwards of 700K today. And Steve Francis is a free card. And now, how you could actually go about getting this is when you go in a triple threat. You can go in the triple threat here, and I'll show you exactly what I mean by it. So you can really load into the game right now, and say you already have like a win or already on a win streak. And you see your player's team. You see your opponent's team, and you're like, if you think that you're gonna lose the game, or you find out early that the guy you're playing is sweaty, then obviously you can just like, you could literally quit like now, and it wouldn't affect your record, and it wouldn't affect your ability to get Steve Francis. And that's huge. Like the fact that you could just play this out and say you're already on your win streak and you're already doing all this stuff. Like, we'll just play this game and we'll see how far it goes. Good block by that guy, Andre Kirilenko. So like now, if you were in a situation like this, where you were gonna lose the game, if you could pause out, I would say do it. Because if you paused out before I would have scored, obviously it would have looked like you got the loss, but the record on that card for Steve Francis wouldn't have counted. So you would have still been able to keep going. So you just do that over and over and over again. So if you play harder guys and stuff like that, you just keep pausing out and doing all that stuff, and then eventually you'll be able to get the card. But you have to keep playing triple threat online. You can't switch up the modes. You can't do any of that. You have to actually play triple threat online until you get those 10 wins. And then after that, you'll get the card and you'll be able to use it. And this works for all the modes. But if you want the Bobby Jones, you have to do it this weekend. Because if you don't do it this weekend, he's going to be gone. And the best thing about it, so the Vucevic, the Steve Francis, and the Mike Conley will be available for the rest of this season, but this season only. So the 15 or 14 more days that are left in the season. So what I would say about that is get it done whenever you can. You don't have to rush, but I do think, obviously, the shots don't look good in this card right now, but this Steve Francis is the real deal. He is one of the top 5 point guards in NBA2K22 Myteam, and he competes with Wall. I really do think he competes with Wall, because Wall is so expensive and so no needed budget wise. Like, not like, you just badge up to Steve Francis and he's already free card. You give him clamps, you give him stop and pop, you give him like circus threes, and then you put like intimidator, interceptor. The card's perfect. There's no real flaw in this card's game. The card is one of the best dribblers in the game, hands down. His movement is insane, and his like just everything. Like, obviously his shot's a little bit of a learning curve, but there's no reason for you not to go get the Steve Francis card. And I mean, like, I think that this is a really good thing that 2K did. I'm really glad they did it, because I think this is something that helps people get back into the community and helps people actually get rewarded for playing the game. And with all the packs that have been dropping, with the constant moments cards, they've been releasing packs all these last couple weeks, like content after content, which I love from 2K. But we need to keep getting consistent players to grind for people that are no money spent. I am not fully no money spent. I will admit I spend money on packs. I do, because I enjoy the game at times, not all the time. This game isn't the greatest game of all time, but I enjoy the game, and I enjoy to splurge a little bit for myself, because I can do that. But I would never tell people to open packs. But I think for things like this, where there's a John Wall who goes for a ridiculous amount of MT, and then there's a player that's 95% of him and it's free, and they have this glitch in the game, I think it's well worth it. So, with all that being said, if you like what I do, you already know what to do. Like, comment, share, subscribe for more. And as always, if you leave the door open, I'm gonna come through.
That fool.